So we've come to the end of our final day of cruising. And once again, I have been lax. I guess I'm just out of the habit. I don't know. I don't feel I've done a very good job as a videographer on this trip. So I apologize for that. But it was a boisterous day for the time period that I was underway. Now the weather was, you would say, at least unsettled all night. The wind was blowing 15, 20 knots. I was nervous. I slept on the settee rather than up in the V berth, just in case the anchor alarm went off. I could react more quickly. The anchor held, didn't move an inch as far as I could tell. Came up with a big wad of mud on it. But when I got up at 5, which is around sunrise, the weather forecast was kind of vague, uncertain. But the wind was supposed to continue and maybe get worse. And then there was a possibility of showers, or almost certainty of showers, it seemed to indicate. So I didn't do my usual lollygagging in the morning. I got packed up as quickly as I could and got underway with probably around 6, excuse me. Got underway and mostly motored, did a little bit of motor sailing when I was going in an appropriate direction, you know, up and around and through Fox Island Thoroughfare. And of course, you'll see the chart in a minute. And the wind continued to blow pretty hard. Again, 15 knots, I'd say, at least. All the way through Fox Island Thoroughfare. And when I got through to the end, I could take a right. Most of that was into the wind, most of Fox Island Thoroughfare, which is going primarily west. That was taking me into the wind, and when I turned to then cross Penobscot Bay, I had the wind on the beam, and you know, it seemed less, which makes sense. So I took a risk and put up some sail, and that seemed to work okay. And so I was pretty heavily reefed, but so we did do some sailing across Penobscot Bay. That was nice. And then so hopefully I got, you know, pictures that capture all that. What happened after that, I didn't get pictures of. As we were approaching the coast of Maine, the sky was black over shore. And then as we got closer to the anchorage, there were flashes of lightning, and then of course thunder, and I had my fingers crossed I could get in and anchor before the sky opened, but I didn't. So I just entered the harbor here, Clam Cove, and the sky just opened, and water fell out in buckets, and the visibility went down to very little. Oops. That's another weather forecast or warning thing. I'll be back in a second. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, if you have a VH radio, you know it will do that occasionally to let you know that there's a weather situation that you should pay attention to. This one, unfortunately, is nowhere near here. Anyway, sky opened up. Yeah, anyway. So I had enough warning that this is going to happen that I could take a few precautions. Well, not really precautions, but get ready a little bit. I managed to put a rain jacket on, but there wasn't time to put rain pants on. That's way too involved a process. So I managed to feel my way into the harbor, which fortunately, since I've been here so many times before, I know the layout. I know there's, you know, how far I need to be offshore, and that there's no hidden rocks that I need to worry about, that kind of thing. So got up to an appropriate spot and dropped the anchor and waited a few minutes, and it tapered off. So the whole thing lasted 10, maybe 15 minutes. But I was soaking wet, of course, by that point. So after that, once it was done, the wind pretty much went away entirely. So there wouldn't have been any sailing later in the day anyway. So I, dried off and got the pop top enclosure up and that whole thing, and I've been goofing off ever since. So that's all I have to say about that. And just pull out the chart. All right, so here is Seal Bay, where we spent last night. And where we got up early in the morning and motored our way out through the kind of narrow entrance here and out this way. And the wind was more westish than anything else. And so as we came up here, I put out a little bit of head sail. And gained over a knot of speed doing that. And I was kind of in a hurry, so, which is, as I mentioned, I left early, got up at 5 and got underway by 6. And I knew I was kind of in a race against time, and it's a race I eventually lost. But so we came up this way. I cut this corner close. As I turned ahead I lost the wind, had to douse the head sail, continued motoring up through the Fox Island thoroughfare, down here past the town of North Haven. We took some shots all through there. Came down this way and off the chart down here towards the end of the thoroughfare. So again, here we are at towards the end of the thoroughfare, and came down, and somewhere down in here is that rock obelisk for Fiddler's Ledge, and around here, and then we could make course across Penobscot Bay here for Clam Cove, and this is where we tentatively put up a little bit of sail and seemed it was going to work all right, basically on a beam reach. And so we did that, put up the sails, reefed, and turned off the motor and sailed, and then started noticing the black skies building over here, and came around this buoy and turned in and got dumped in, and that was it. But I knew that where we anchor is always up in here. There's a dock here. It doesn't show on the chart that I could see, from a couple hundred feet away in the pouring rain. So that was a reference point, and so I dropped the hook finally. And after I checked, because I always make a note of where I actually dropped the hook, it's within a few feet of one of the places that I've dropped the hook before, so I knew it was okay. And so that's where we are. And I'm not going to do a look around the harbor. I've done this harbor several times before, and it's not all that picturesque. It's not bad, but I just thought I'd give you an idea of what it's like now, which is quite calm. And we haven't had that much sun, but we're getting some now. So that's pleasant. So that's where we are. And tomorrow it'll be the usual last day of routine for these Maine trips, which is I'll probably after breakfast just motor the few miles down the coast to Rockland Harbor and get the boat on the trailer and then get it packed up, and then do the 4.5 to 5 hour drive home. Not very exciting. Probably won't be anything worth filming. So thanks for watching.